I said, Zsa Gabor, I'm much older than that son of a gun, which hurts me even more. And I sit there, and the other one was a Polish policeman. I said, Zsa, are you really Zsa? She says, yes. She says, I can't believe this happened to you. I said, no, can I? And so at last they drive me to Beverly Hills police station, where there was a beautiful young police lady. She said, Zsa, I take the cuffs out, and I don't take your jewelry. I take no response for jewelry. I have to body search you. When she body searched you, you could lose a little weight, she said. I says, I know. Then they took my fingerprints 4 times. And it was a wonderful Spanish gentleman who says, Bella, senora, loco Americans, he said. I said, nothing. Then they made the mugshot. And then I called my doctor. By then I was a basket case, and she took me home, and next day I got black and blue and everything, and then the press invaded us. And I must say one thing, Sally, I don't say anymore. There was a lovely Chinese lady who interviewed me for another television show I won't mention because I like them so much, and she said, Zsa, the same thing happened to me, and thank God it happened to you, even though I'm sorry, because at least the country's a little bit conscious about what happens in Beverly Hills. An English friend of mine called me. She says, Zsa, I wanted to have a holiday in Beverly Hills, but I'm not bringing my wife. If they beat Zsa up, what are they going to do? Poor my wife. It's bad for business here.
Sure.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, you slapped the policeman. You know, what are you expecting? You know, you slapped someone. The police is in charge if you did something wrong. So.
My dear, darling lady, I don't know if you're a mother or not, but if somebody hits you, you'll hit back. And if you don't hit back, you're a big mistake, because a woman has to defend her a little bit. I think this man had a sexual pleasure out of hitting me. I analyzed him back and forth. Why should he hit me? What did I do? He can give me a ticket.
Zsa, do you think he knew about the Delta airline incident?
Yeah, he did. Not only knew, he told it to me. Well, you had trouble with the Delta. I said, yes. I was also absolutely innocent. I have this damn diamond ring on and a sable coat. I was here, and this woman, the dogs were never out of the carriage.
Well, you're starting in the middle. Very quickly, you were on a Delta plane.
I never take Delta because I'm an animal lover and I have animal shelters. And years ago, Delta carried 11 dogs in their pit down there, and all 6 arrived dead, frozen. And I have animal shelters, Love Unlimited, Mercy Crusade, and I know about these stories. I never take Delta. This time, I was tired. My husband was just mugged in Beverly Hills. Where was the police then? They beat him up. They called me from the hospital. He's in pieces. He tried to take $200 out of a machine in Rodeo Drive. And they mugged him, they beat him up, they nearly killed him, and he couldn't fly with me. So I took my wonderful little housekeeper from Texas, and she was all the way back with one of my dogs in a Louis Vuitton carrying case, and the 6-month-old baby who I just got was with me in a Louis Vuitton carrying case, and they put her where the coat hangs, and I kept on telling, this dog might die, she won't get any air. Oh no, all right. And then this one woman was so bitchy to me that a gentleman who sat next to me said, Miss Gabor, they always pick on celebrities. Look, you have the big ring, you have the sable coat. What do you expect? And she must, we know it now, she telegraphed ahead to Atlanta, said there's an unruly passenger. Unruly, I worked for this, I didn't get it from no one, I paid for it, I worked for it, I worked hard for it, nobody gave it to me. But she hated me. And I think in Beverly Hills they also hate people who, we found out that he said somewhere, the policeman, I hate the rich and famous and I'm going to aghast them or whatever you call it. But I mean, why does he work in Beverly Hills? Everybody makes as much money, not more than I. Everybody has a Rolls Royce. Then let him go to somewhere where people don't have that.
Well, but on the plane,
on the plane, they come up. I was Delta Airline. They wait until everybody. We went to Palm Beach to open my house in Palm Beach, and everybody went off the plane. The housekeeper came, and I said, "We're staying here an hour now. Let's take the puppies out of the cases and let's walk them to pee." And then in arrived. You looked wonderful. I like your new hairdo. I really do.
Thank you.
Then in walks 5 big men. They say they are the redneckers, so how do you call it in America? Some rednecks. And they say to me, you have to get off. I say, why? He says, the dogs are free. And when they came in, they were already ruled. And they took me off the plane, and we're suing them. You know, that's a big lawsuit.
For 11 million?
Look, darling, you always sue in America on 11 million, and then you get $11, major.
Hi, Jaja. With this car incident, I don't understand. Like, you didn't do anything to him. He just forcefully came on to you.
With the policeman?
Yeah, because
I tell you, we found out why. He is, I shouldn't say it, my lawyers don't know it. He was campaigning for Jesse Jackson. I have nothing against it. I even know him. But I campaigned for Mr. Bush, I campaigned for Mr. Ronald Reagan, I campaigned for Mr. Nixon as a close friend, and Mr. Ford. And he saw that plaque on the front. He said, that so-and-so and so. She has that thing from Mr. Nixon. 16 years, he tore it off. It's not on anymore. 16 years, nobody said a word. After 16 years, Mr. Nixon is almost forgotten. He got even with me.
Jaja, but you could face 3 years in prison, right?
Well,
I mean,
I don't think I will, because the mayor of Los Angeles called me and excused me on the Beverly Hills chief police said, Judge, I'm so sorry, we have so many lawsuits, we really didn't need you. I said, you know what? I didn't need you either.
So you don't think you'll go to jail?
I don't know. But if I go to jail, everybody in Hollywood has a bumper stickers, free Jaja. If I go to jail, I make a little order there because I see what they do in American jails. I'm going to fix up all those lesbians. I'm going to show...
The 3 counts were evading an officer, resisting an officer, expired license. Oh, registration, 5 counts. Dear me. Is this the worst thing that has happened to you so far?
Oh, in my whole life. Sweetheart, I was raised, as I said before, in communist Hungary and in Nazi Hungary.
And this is worse?
Well, he didn't shoot me. They shot my grandmother, I must say.
Hi, Judge. I just wanted to tell you that my lifetime here, it's funny to meet celebrities, and I finally got a chance to meet you back in 1962 with Parade Magazine's Young Columbus trip, and you were at the kickoff dinner, and you haven't changed...
What did I kick off?
A fabulous trip to Spain and Portugal for newspaper carriers, and you were at the banquet, and that was back in 1962.
Don't age me, sweetheart. Make at least 17 too.
No. He's saying something very nice.
But I'm saying you haven't changed a bit.
I love you.
Jaja, I just want to know, were you drinking, and if you were, how much?
I never in my life drink, and that's the best thing. All my friends, I don't drink at all, zero. I have a flask, a little silver flask in my glove department because I'm a horsewoman. And next day there was a big horse show for the handicapped children, which I was supposed to ride. I couldn't, of course. And my husband, after a horse show in the evening, puts Diet Coke and put a little in it. But the flask is full. I've been in the car for 3 years. I never drink for one reason. It makes you old and ugly, and I ain't going to be old nor ugly.
Hi, Jaja. I have a question for you. I'm Hungarian myself, and knowing that you're Hungarian, what do you feel towards Hungarian men?
I loved and adored my father. As a matter of fact, I met Hilton because he was like father. I don't know Hungarian men because I was raised in Switzerland and in Turkey and in Austria. I only knew my father was the best of the bestest. I loved him and adored him. But Hungarian men are some guys, I tell you. I just made that show in Rome, and we had some Hungarian rock and roll guys coming out in hussar outfits, and they sang. Boy, were they gorgeous, just gorgeous.
You know what we're going to do in deference to you? We're going to get Jaja to talk about her husbands, her loves, who is most important, men in general, how to get one, trap one, keep one,
and get rid of
lose
one,
and get rid of one. When we return. We're going to get Jaja to talk to us inside stuff about men.
Sorry, before I talk about men, my stableman is from Tennessee, Ross Thompson. He owns a stable. He's gorgeous. He sends his love. My secretary Sandy sends his love, and all the guys around me love this lady. I mean that.
Thank you.
Ross Thompson is one of the handsomest guys.
I don't know who we're going to insult, but married how many times?
Not so many times. You see, I was raised in a convent, so I thought when you want to... Wait a second. I thought when you want to sleep with a man, you have to first marry him. So I know people, great ladies in Hollywood, who slept in 1 week with more men than I married. Mother always said lately, when you want to sleep with men, you don't have to anymore marry them. 8 times.
8. Is it rude?
That is so much?
Is it rude to ask, was there a favorite?
Well, I liked until now the best George Sanders because he was rude and nasty and mean to me, and I adored him. And I left a rich man, Conrad Hilton, for him, and he treated me like a dog, but I loved him. This is the truth. And I like my new husband really the best now.
Oh.
Can you believe that I should find myself a German? He's a German, he's a prince, and he really is wonderful. He's not always nice, he can be a stinker, but I love him.
But what about, you just said George Sanders treated me terribly?
Terribly. When he married me, this was the only man I slept with, of course, the day I met him, because I was madly in love with him. When I was Mrs. Conrad Hilton, had a 6-month-old baby, and I was in love with him. I said, Mr. Sanders, I'm madly in love with you. He says, how very well I understand you, my dear. That was the first lesson. And he came home with me that night, and we stayed together forever. And after 2 years, when at last I got the divorce and all the tragedy finished, he married me, and he says, now I'll never be able to sleep with you again, because before you were the glamorous Mrs. Conrad Hilton, now you're just plain Mrs. George Sanders. And
He didn't mean that, did he?
Well, the first night he did, but second night I changed his mind.
I'd love to ask, what did you do to change his mind?
I don't remember.
How do you, ever been unfaithful?
I never am unfaithful, because that's why I leave. That's why I marry so often, because I hate to lie. I really hate it. And to be unfaithful is awful. Who wants to do that? When I fall out of love, or if the man, which they usually do, start to look around, I say, that's the time to leave. I'm not going to